about your love of cycling. Really, just let it go. Our love of cycling makes us think that it's easy and natural for everyone. But for cycling to work, we have to step into the minds and experiences of people who don't view it as a mobility choice, for those whom other needs are pressing. We come from a world that is not dominated by cyclists. So should we forget about our love? No, but we gain enormously by understanding how other people think about their mobility, about their cycling, their daily lives, as a way to start a conversation about cycling. In the Netherlands, we see shared space where cycling is commonplace. We might want a comparable outcome at home, but we live in different environments, in different contexts, and are navigating uncharted and changing paths. As one US report asked, are we there yet?
We have to acknowledge that different modes of transportation are needed for different situations. Not everybody can do it the Dutch way. There's not one solution for commuting or for short distance trips. We have to take the time to understand rationales behind mobility choices. The notion that roads are meant for cars has been integrated over time into our collective consciousness, which has led to cars dominating our living environment. But equity for different modes of transportation should be the focus. Providing cyclists with the necessary space, accessibility, and safety to get to their destination should be the top priority. However, it's not often the reality. Unlike this hierarchical pyramid, where available modes like walking and cycling are priority, cars often receive the most attention. Infrastructure planning varies from country to country and even within cities in cycling-friendly countries such as the Netherlands. It's all about context and local needs. And the urban form has also shaped our vision of mobility. The way suburbia has developed and spread since the 1960s all over the world in many parts, with those lollipop neighborhoods and a lack of active transportation infrastructure, has conditioned people to rely on the automobile, and it has made car-centered lifestyle the norm. And the weather is also a big factor. And although we can't change it, we have adapted to it. From cold polar winters in Northern Europe to windy Chicago, monsoonal India, and very hot climates like in Dubai, weather is omnipresent in our thinking and also in our mobility choices. Other environmental conditions can also influence our trips, such as topography. We can all agree that biking on a flatland, such as in Denmark or in the Netherlands, is not the same thing as in biking in hilly San Francisco or in Lisbon, Portugal. Our routes and transportation modes are influenced by the variety of landscape that we encounter every day.
Right. Having taken out our bike tinted glasses, we now see the perspective of people who do not cycle as much as us, bike enthusiasts and bike lovers. Over the past 3 weeks, we have gathered a toolbox of tools showing us things that we can apply back home. Perhaps then, back home, we can then encourage people back home to consider. The first tool in our toolbox is data. So what you see here is basically a bike congestion levels at traffic light junctions in Amsterdam from the 1960s to present day. What you also see are traffic planners removing traffic lights in response to data to ensure that cycling remains smooth. Data is crucial. We can't build our house on sand. Similarly, we can't build bike lanes on assumed behavior. What we need is strong foundations in form of hard data of how people actually use streets, not how the manual tells us to use streets. This ensures that we'll be responsive and addressive to the real issues at hand. So a dense, connected network that will give cyclists the confidence that the infrastructure will carry them to where they need to go. So now when you go around in Amsterdam, you don't have to plan your route beforehand. All you have to do is to go, get on your bike, and you will get to where you need to go without even thinking. Just infrastructure. It's about changing people's mindsets. Where we're from, not everyone, children aren't always taught how to cycle. So when we grow up, a lot of us look at bikes and think of it as a foreign object. However, a visit to Mama Agatha in Zeldos has shown that we can actually inculcate cycling culture even in adults, not just in children as well. Activism. What we need to do back home is to raise the profile of cycling. We need to plant the cycling seed in the minds of others. At the same time, we have to also look at cycling not as an end in itself, but as a means to an end that includes a vision of sustainable, safe, and livable cities. And for that, we need a speaking language, right, that is more congruent with existing modes of thinking. Instead of focusing on, ooh, bike lanes are all cool and all, right, we can talk about bike lanes as allowing cars to actually travel better, more smooth on roads. So our contexts do differ and we need to use the tools differently. A hammer can be used to drive a nail into the wall, but it can also be used to massage and tender. Encouraging cycling back home is like a mission to Mars, right? A lot of people fail, but they try and try again. Rome was not built in a day, neither was Amsterdam, the cycling city. So what we need to do back home is to select the tools, polish it, and then use it in a way that's suitable back home. Maybe then our transport network can be equitable.
Let me close by saying we have learned that using powerful messages through words, actions, and experiences can inspire aha moments and motivate change. Beginning with this, look again. You have a cycling culture, hours of cyclists are not, it's not that they're vulnerable, it's that they move in a different way from the perspective of their handlebars, seeing their own path of travel, not just what's in the built environment. So we need to approach our work in this way and accept that that's the way others do their work. And we know that to change something, we need to build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. So while the Dutch model may not be obsolete, ours likely is. You've made us a part of your world. You've asked us to be a mirror for your culture. Now we invite you to be a Thank you so much. And I have the next group, please.